Oh, ever catch yourself doing something simple like standing up from a chair, and for just a split second, it feels harder than it used to. And you brush it off, you laugh it off, maybe you even say, well, that's just age. But deep down, there's this quiet voice asking, wait, when did this start happening? Because here's the truth: nobody sits you down and tells you straight. Muscle loss after 60 doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks in, silently, like a slow leak in a tire. And by the time you feel it, you've already lost more strength than you realize. And the real shocker, it's not just because you're getting older. No, that's the story we've all been sold. But it's incomplete, it's misleading, and honestly, it's costing people their independence. Because what's really happening is your body is being underfed, not in calories necessarily, but in the exact nutrients your muscles are desperately waiting for. And once you understand this, everything changes. Because now you're not declining, you're just missing the right fuel. And I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine waking up and feeling stable on your feet. Your grip stronger, your energy just a little more reliable. Not like you're 25 again, no fantasy here, but like you're in control again, like your body is cooperating instead of resisting you. That's what we're talking about here. And let me tell you about someone real quick. A guy named Harold, 72, used to be active. Loved fixing things around the house. But over the years he slowed down, stopped eating much, avoided certain foods because he thought they were bad, and one day he tried to lift a simple toolbox and had to sit down halfway through. Not because it was heavy, but because he felt weak. And that moment hit him harder than anything, not physically, emotionally, because it made him question his independence. And that's where most people are right now. Not broken, just misled. Because somewhere along the way we started fearing foods that actually built strong bodies for generations. And we replaced them with low-fat, low-protein, convenient options that taste okay, but do nothing for muscle repair. And your body, especially after 60, needs a stronger signal to build muscle again. It's not as responsive as it used to be. So you need foods that are richer, denser, more complete. And here's where things start to flip. Because the first food, something so simple, so common, almost ignored now, is whole eggs. And I know you've heard all the debates. Cholesterol this, heart that, but what most people never explain clearly is that eggs are one of the most powerful triggers for muscle protein synthesis. Especially because of leucine, that amino acid that basically knocks on your muscle cells and says, wake up, we're building again. And when you throw away the yolk, thinking you're being healthy, you're actually throwing away the vitamins that make the protein usable. It's like having bricks but no workers to build the house, and suddenly something clicks. Because this isn't about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And as Harold slowly added eggs back into his mornings, something small but noticeable started happening. He didn't feel dramatically different overnight, but he didn't feel as drained either. And that's how it begins. Not with a miracle, but with a shift. And that shift builds momentum. And before we move on, I want you to be honest with yourself. When was the last time you actually ate to support your strength instead of just eating to fill your stomach? Because that one question might change everything for you. And if you're still with me right now, it means something inside you knows this matters. So stay with me, because the next one might surprise you even more. Now here's where things get a little uncomfortable, because the second and third foods are the ones most people have completely forgotten. Not because they don't work, but because modern habits quietly push them out. And the second one is full-fat yogurt. And I'm not talking about the sugary, dessert-like cups stacked in grocery stores. I'm talking about real, thick, cultured yogurt. Because here's something most people don't connect: your muscles are only as strong as your ability to absorb nutrients. And after 60, your digestion isn't as efficient as it used to be, which means even if you're eating protein, your body might not be fully using it, and that's where gut health steps in. Those beneficial bacteria in real yogurt help your system break down and absorb the nutrients your muscles need. So it's not just food, it's function. And when people start adding this back, they often notice better digestion, less bloating, and surprisingly, more stable energy. And then comes the one that usually gets a reaction. Sardines, yeah, I see that look already, but hear me out. Because these tiny fish are one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can put in your body. Loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which don't just support your heart. They actually improve your muscles' response to protein, meaning your body becomes more efficient at rebuilding strength. And that's critical after 60, because your body becomes a little resistant, like it needs a louder signal to respond. And sardines provide that signal, plus vitamin D, which plays a huge role in muscle function and balance, something that becomes more important every single year. And here's where the emotional part really hits. Because weakness isn't just about strength, it's about confidence. It's about whether you feel steady walking outside, whether you hesitate before climbing stairs, whether you start avoiding things you used to enjoy, and that slow withdrawal from life. That's the real danger, not aging itself, but losing the ability to fully participate in your own life. And then there's something even more forgotten, something almost erased from modern diets. Organ meats, especially liver. And yeah, I get it. This is where most people check out mentally. But if you look back just 1 or 2 generations, this was considered the most valuable part of the animal, rich in iron, B vitamins, and compounds that directly support energy production and muscle repair. And when people removed it completely, replacing it with processed options, they didn't just lose a food, they lost a major source of strength. And here's the surprising part. People who reintroduce even small amounts often report feeling more energized, more alert, like something inside them switched back on. And at this point, you might be thinking, okay, but is it really that simple? And the honest answer is, it's simple but not easy. Because it requires you to unlearn years of habits, to go against what you've been told is safe, and to trust your body again. And that's not just physical, that's mental, that's emotional. But if you've made it this far, something tells me you're ready for that shift. And before we get to the final piece, I want you to do something real quick. Drop a comment saying, "Strong again," if you're committed to taking even one step toward rebuilding your strength. Because saying it out loud, even digitally, makes it real. And it might inspire someone else who's quietly struggling with the same thing. Now this last one might completely flip what you've been told for years. Because for a long time, people over 60 were encouraged to cut carbs, to go light, to avoid foods like potatoes, rice, anything that seemed filling. But here's the problem. Your muscles don't just need protein to rebuild. They need energy, and without enough energy, your body won't prioritize muscle growth. It will prioritize survival, and that's why simple, whole carbohydrates like potatoes can actually play a powerful role in rebuilding strength. They replenish glycogen, support recovery, and help your body use protein more effectively. And when you combine that with the foods we talked about earlier, something powerful starts to happen. Your body shifts from a state of decline into a state of rebuilding, and it's not dramatic at first. It's subtle. You feel a little steadier, a little more capable, and those small wins start stacking up, and suddenly, things that felt difficult begin to feel manageable again. And that's the turning point. Not perfection, not transformation overnight, but progress, consistent, real progress. And here's what I want you to understand more than anything. Your body is not your enemy. It hasn't betrayed you. It's been adapting to what you've been giving it. And if you change that input, even slightly, your body will respond. Maybe not instantly, but reliably. Because it still wants to be strong. It still wants to support you. It just needs the right signals again. And this is where most people either take action or scroll away and forget everything they just felt. So don't let that happen, because this isn't just information. This is a chance to change how you experience your daily life. And I want to leave you with something strong, something real, not just motivation, but direction. Start small. Choose one of these foods, just one, and commit to adding it into your routine consistently for the next 14 days. Not perfectly, just consistently, and pair it with simple movement. Even if it's just standing up and sitting down a few extra times a day, because your muscles respond to use and fuel together, not separately. Avoid extreme diets. Avoid fear-based restrictions. Eat real food. Prioritize protein. Don't neglect carbs completely, and give your body a reason to rebuild. Because here's the truth most people never hear. Weakness after 60 is not your destiny. It's often just a signal, and signals can be changed. So don't wait for a perfect time. Don't wait until things get worse. Start now, start simple, and rebuild what you thought was gone, because it's not gone. It's waiting. Stop treating aging like a slow surrender. Treat it like a strategy. Feed your body like it still matters, because it does. Add real foods, move daily, stay consistent, and most importantly, refuse to accept weakness as normal when strength is still possible.